Um, when it comes to food as well, I guess food is a very difficult thing to change. You know, there's so many levels when it comes to food. You know, we've got our social connections, we've got our emotional connections, there's economic reasons, there's cultural reasons, you know. Food change isn't something that happens overnight, and you don't go from, you know, zero to hero overnight with anything like that. It's the small changes that you make over time and just continually keep making over time that lead to the, you know, the giant gains here. Now, when I am treating people in clinic, quite often, you know, there has to be a talk about food, but then there are a lot of supplements that I can use, you know, with nutrients and herbs and, you know, various kind of gut, you know, supplements and things that I can use with people. Things like probiotics can be amazing. They're the good bacteria, and there are that many different strains out there. So it is really good to talk to someone who knows about all the different strains and the different sort of formulas out there that can help you target your symptoms specifically. So what I was saying before about the sort of the fermented foods and things like that is, if you're ever taking things that should be really good for the gut, things like, you know, probiotics or fermented vegetables, things like sauerkraut, you've got, you know, drinks like kefir and kombucha and stuff like this. If they actually make you feel worse, there might be an underlying condition. So if you're taking things that really should be good for the gut and you're finding that you're getting, you know, lots of pain or lots of symptoms, or your symptoms are worsening, then there generally is an underlying condition, and you really should work with someone to kind of help you get to the bottom of that. You know, there are signs and symptoms that people like me look for when I'm talking to you and I'm asking, you know, questions and things like that. And it's these signs and symptoms that are sort of the language that your body speaks to us, and we sort of learn to read that, so we can kind of start on navigating the landscape of your gut and working out what we need to do to kind of get you better. When we're looking at the gut, I like to say to a lot of my clients is think about it like a garden. You know, you can't just plant a whole bunch of things into really dried up dead soil and expect like an amazing garden to grow, you know. It's exactly the same as your gut, you know. It's something that needs to be tended to pretty much on a daily basis. Some of the things that you can do for the gut, chewing is critical, you know. So many people out there just inhale their food, and if you inhale your food, you have these things. They're teeth. There's no teeth further down. The teeth are in your mouth for a reason. They're there to start breaking up your food, so that when when it starts to go further down, your gut can you know, you've taken some of the pressure off, and, you know, these really are a part of the gut as well. They're breaking down the food so that the stomach can do what it needs to do with those foods. So inhaling your food is not a good thing at all. So make sure that you are chewing your food. Now, something else that's very important in our guts is enzymes. So people out there, you can take a lot of digestive enzymes, but again, Mother Nature being very clever, packaging her medicines into her food. Raw food comes with a lot of enzymes. Enzymes help you to break down your food a lot easier and a lot better. So you do have them in your body. Cooked food, when it gets so hot that you cannot touch it without it kind of, you know, being like, oh, ouch, that hurt, that has no more enzymes in it. So if you're having something like a steak or something like that, it's really good to have it with a salad. And some bitter salads are really wonderful as well. So bitter flavours help to turn on our digestive tract. So quite often in clinic, I will ask people to have themselves a bitter salad when they sort of look at me and think, are you crazy? But bitter salads, I mean, you can have, you know, like a salad with lots of rocket in it and some apple cider vinegar on top, and, you know, make sure you chew it really well, but that will actually help you to start digesting as well. Now, something that people laugh at me every time I do it, but, you know, the brave ones out there tell me how wonderful it is as soon as I give it to them. But look up something known as the Bristol Stool Chart, Bristol, the Bristol Stool Chart. This gives you an indication of what healthy poo looks like. Now, I would really encourage you to get to know your poo. You know, grab one of these, print it off the internet. You'll find it as soon as you Google it. And you'll start learning about the different types of poo that you are doing, and whether you need more fibre or whether you need more water water, or what you're actually ideally looking for. It's like a little report card that comes out of you, and it should come out of you every day a couple of times. So if that's not happening, then you do also have gut troubles. I do have a lot of people that come in and tell me they go once every 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and that's normal, right? But no, it's not. Think about all the food that you're putting in. It's like the rubbish has to be taken out. Imagine in a city sewerage system, if we're just like putting all that rubbish, all that stuff in, which essentially we're putting with food. Imagine if the sewage wasn't working and it just all started to kind of pile up through the streets and through up and onto the roads via the gutters and things like that, via the drains. Sorry, it's kind of the same. You need to take your own rubbish out of your body. So what can you do as far as gut health to improve if you've got bloating or anything like that? You can clean up your diet first and foremost. So start looking at whole foods and colours. And when I say whole foods, things how Mother Nature grew them. Look at your broccolis, look at your garlic, look at your apples and your pears and whatever else. Good hydration. So make sure that you are hydrated. The gut needs good hydration in order to be working well. You need to use these things. Chew. And look at including some raw foods, and so you get those enzymes in with each of your meals. That's a really wonderful thing to do. If you still have a lot of problems, you can always seek the help of somebody like me. So as I said, I am a naturopath, and I have a huge array of supplements and herbs and nutrients and vitamins and minerals and things like that I work with to get people's gut back to balance and back to health. I work at Salturi a couple of days, and I do one-on-one consultations, and I'm trained as a functional medicine practitioner as well, which is a really wonderful thing. But essentially what I do is I look for, as I said, I'm listening to your body and understanding what the symptoms that you are getting. This is the language, because your language speaks to me, your body speaks to me via the language of symptoms. So I start to read these and sort of put, a great big map and think, well, this is what's going on for this body. And we get our ducks into line. It's like this thing's got to be done first in order for that to happen and that to happen and that to happen. So, we are looking at bringing your health back into balance, but we're always looking for the root cause. So we're kind of like, we go on a little bit of a witch hunt to kind of go, oh, there's the root over there. Let's rip that out and let's sort of, replant that. And like I said, with pretty much everything in the body, focusing on gut health and getting that running optimally, that is going to benefit so many more things than just your gut health. So thank you, and we'll see you soon.